Hi everyone, welcome to class. My name's Claire and today I'm taking you through a 75-minute creative flow class. So I thought we would have a bit of a theme around grounding and connecting to the earth element as we move through today's practice. For those of you who don't know, the ancient yogis actually spent a lot of time practicing and meditating in caves and studying nature. They studied how animals moved and brought some of those movements into the physical practice. They also came to the understanding that we are made up of the elements. We're made out of the same stuff that the rest of the universe is made out of, and they started doing some practices around exploring that connection. So when we're talking about grounding and connecting to the earth element, these kind of practices help us to become a little bit more stable and feel a little bit more supported, and just feel a little bit more present and in our body. Sometimes we get caught up with thoughts and we get caught up thinking about the past or the future, or there's that saying that you're away with the fairies kind of thing. When we're doing grounding practices, we want to try and balance that out and bring our awareness back into our body, back into the present, and we start to feel more grounded, a lot more stable and a lot more at home. So let's get moving. We will start as we always start, on our back in Supta Baddha Konasana. Grab some pillows if you don't have a bolster, and we will start with our feet together, knees apart, and our palms face the ceiling. See if you can wiggle the heels a little bit closer up towards the torso, and then we'll just allow the whole body to start settling. We'll leave behind any outside thoughts. Forget about what we have to do later in the week or what's been going on for us earlier in the day, and start to really drop into the present moment. Notice how your body is feeling in this moment. And we'll start to scan through the body just to notice how we're feeling in this moment. And we'll pause at any areas which are feeling any sort of gripping or tension, and we'll use our internal focus to start smoothing some of that out just by visualizing that tension melting away from the body. And as we visualize the tension melting away from the body, let's also bring our attention to all the points of our body that are touching the floor. So maybe the sides of the feet, the buttocks, the spine, the back of the head, the shoulder blades, the backs of the hands. And as the tension melts away from the body, feel as though these points of connection are deepening. There's this sense that the whole backside of the body is grounding down into the earth beneath you. And as you tune into this sense of settling and grounding, starting to feel really supported by the earth beneath you. There's this sense that you're made up of the same stuff as the earth that supports you when you break things down far enough. We're made up of the same elements. Once you're feeling a little more settled and you've felt into that connection between your own body and the earth, that is supporting you. We'll start to drop into a deeper yogic breath. We'll match the length of the inhales and the exhales. Allow the belly to start rising and falling, deep diaphragmic breathing. We'll stay here for 3 more full breaths, but just take a mental note that we want to bring this deeper breath through the entire practice with us. And when you're ready, start to wiggle the fingertips and toes, bring movement back into your body. And then when you're ready, rolling over to your right side, use your left hand to prop yourself up. And we'll come to sit on top of a bolster or our pillows. Now you can choose to sit in Sukhasana, easy pose, lining up the heels in front of each other, or Siddhasana, placing the front foot into the nook of the leg, and then you can roll that knee down towards the floor. So your choice, but we'll sit comfortably for a little bit more breath work. So Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breath. We bring our middle and our index finger in between our eyebrows, rest the right thumb on the right nostril and bring the ring finger to the left nostril. We start by blocking the right nostril so we can inhale through the left nostril. At the top of the inhale, bring the ring finger into block. Release the thumb to exhale through the right nostril. Then we inhale back in through that right nostril. Bring the thumb into block. Release the ring finger to exhale through the left. If you've got that pattern, just keep going. It's this continual cycle, whichever nostril we're exhaling from. We then inhale through the same nostril and then swap sides to exhale out of the other. And we inhale through the same nostril and it becomes this continual cycle. So either tuning out my voice and just focusing on that breath if you've got the pathway. Otherwise, just following me, we'll block the right nostril, inhale through the left. Bring the ring finger in to block the left nostril, release the thumb to exhale through the right. Inhale back in through the right. Bring the thumb in to block and exhale through the left. Inhale back in through the left nostril. Block and out through the right. Inhale back in through the right. And then exhale through the left. So keep going and just remember whichever nostril you're exhaling from, you inhale through that same nostril before you swap over to exhale through the opposite nostril. Start to find a little more depth in the breath. Make sure that inhales and exhales are still matching in length. You're finding this nice, smooth, even quality in the breath. And this breathwork practice, when lots of different systems and frameworks and practices, they've got different maps of our energy system. So of course it's obviously very, very hard to map out something that we can't see and we can only feel. So I believe that's why so many of the subtle energy systems look so different. But in yoga, when we're talking about the energy channels, we're talking about the nadis, we're talking about the nadi system. And this particular breath work is designed to purify, open up and balance out the energy channels, the nadis. So keep going, we'll do 5 more rounds. Should have just a few more rounds. Keep going and make sure that you've arrived at your deepest breath now. It should not be strained in any way. It should still feel easy, but it should feel a lot more deep and expansive than your usual everyday breath. Should be at the deepest breath that is possible while still maintaining that sense of ease. Finish off your last round of Nadi Shodhana. And then we'll bring our hand to rest back on our leg. Pause for a moment just to notice if you're feeling any different. You might not, but you might also notice that you're feeling a little bit different, like your perspective has shifted, or like you're just a little bit more balanced or present. And then we'll open our eyes. We'll start with a little bit of work to open up our neck, just in preparation for one of our sequences. So chin rolls down to the chest, both hands come around behind the head, and we'll just apply a little bit of pressure until we feel a stretch move into the back of the neck and through the upper back and shoulders, and start to roll the nose from side to side. So that stretching sensation moves through the back of the neck. Okay, coming to the center, releasing the head, we'll drop the head over to the right. Use the right hand to press down on the head. The left shoulder peels down towards the floor. And as we inhale, lift the nose up to the ceiling. As we exhale, the nose rolls down to the floor. Move the hand with the head, but keep that pressure so the stretching sensation moves forward and back through the side of the neck now. Releasing the head, we'll drop the head over to the other side. Apply a little bit of pressure and then roll the nose down and up. So the stretching sensation moves through the side of the neck. And one more round. Releasing the head, we'll bring the arms up to right angles. Fix the arms, keep them in place, and we're going to start to use them to twist through the spine. Build up the momentum slowly move towards your edge. Make sure that you take time warming up before you start to move a little more dynamically. Slowing it down, bring the arms down by the side, we'll bring the feet together and we'll just do a little bit of work into butterfly pose. Okay, so as we inhale, the knees draw in together and we lengthen through the spine, peel the shoulders back and feel as though you're opening the heart forward. As you exhale, The knees flop open and we use our elbows to press down on the legs, and we draw the chest forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, peel the shoulders back, open through the heart, and exhale, folding forward. Elbows push the knees down towards the floor, the chest presses forward, we hinge at the hips. Inhale, we lift, and exhale, we fold forward. We'll just do 3 more rounds. And last round. This time as the knees open up, we draw the heels in towards the body, grab onto the ankles or the feet and start to flap the knees as you draw up through the spine to the crown of the head. Slowly coming to a still. Let's bring the legs out to the side. You can sit back on the edge of the bolster or the pillows if you like. Bring the legs out to the side and maybe slide down just so you're halfway sitting down the bolster. You can bring the legs out as far as you like, but don't move it towards your edge just yet because we want to ease into it nice and slowly. Bring the hands to rest just below the hips on the thighs. And imagine that your spine is like a perfectly straight rod, and we're just starting to move that around. So as we inhale, move the torso around to the right. Bring the chest forward to the left and back. We're just moving the spine through some circles. So we don't want to be hunching the back forward like this. We want to keep this sense that the shoulders are peeling back and we're pressing forward from the base of the spine. If you like, you can bring your arms into it and imagine you've got a big pot between your legs and you're stirring some soup. You might find that you can open the legs a little wider, press the hips a little bit further forward as your body starts to open up. And let's do 3 more circles, either extending the arms out in front of us or keeping the hands on the legs for a little bit of support. 1 more circle. And then let's reverse the direction. Starting with the hands on the thighs, just so we can ease into the other side nice and slowly. And then when you're ready, if you like, you can bring the arm movements into it, tracing up the left leg, reaching forward, keeping the chest open, the hips are pressing forward, the base of the spine is pressing forward as you come through that circle. Remember, we want to avoid hunching through the back. Keep the chest open. So just a couple more rounds, either using the hands or keeping the hands on the legs for support. Okay, folding back, folding the legs in. We'll give them a little bit of a shake out, and let's get rid of all the props off our mat. And we'll come into a squat at the back of our mat. So if your heels can't reach the floor here, just roll up a blanket and pop it underneath your heels so that you've got something to ground down into. Otherwise, just see if you can bring the feet together as close as you can and then drop the heels down into the floor. So we're going to do a squat version of cat-cow. So as we inhale, we're going to catch ourselves forwards, drop the knees to the floor and the head and tail peel back. As we exhale, we push back and see if we can drop the heels down with control. The chin comes to the chest and we round through the back like we're coming into a cat pose with our spine. Inhale, dropping forward. Head and tail peel back. And exhale, we drop the heels and round through the back, chin to chest. Just start to move with your breath. At your own pace, keeping the breath deep and smooth. And just remember, the inhale is as the head and tail peels back, the belly button pulls forward. The exhale as we drop the heels back and we arch through the back, bringing the chin to the chest. So if you like, you can start to walk it out into plank. Weight bearing into the wrists. And then walking back into your squat. Inhale, dropping the knees, drawing the shoulders and the tailbone back. Exhale, dropping the heels back, arching into a cat. Inhale, walking forward into a plank, weight bearing down through the wrists. And exhale, walking the hands back into your squat, arching through the back. Inhale, dropping the knees, head and tail peel back into cow. Exhale, dropping the heels, arching into cat. Walking the hands forward as you inhale into plank. Exhale, walking the hands back into your squat. Inhale, dropping the knees into cow. And exhale, dropping the heels back into your squat. So start to make this your own creative play now. You can change it up as you like. You've got the cat-cow, the movements of the spine, moving through squat and back. And then you've got the movement where you walk smoothly out into plank. And then you walk smoothly back. Starting to gently warm up the core and weight bear down through the wrists. Next time you come forward into plank, you might like to play around with lifting through one arm and coming into a three-pointed plank. And smoothly walk back into your squat. And start making it your own practice. You can just come back to dropping the knees and moving the spine through the cat-cow shapes. Or you can start to increase the walking forward into plank and exploring lifting one hand, then the other. You could even come forward into plank and have a play around with lifting one toe off the floor. And start to have fun with it. And start to find this organic, smooth quality in the connecting moments. Smooth, controlled movements in between each destination. That's just as important as the moments where we're holding plank or squat or Namaskarasana. Just do a couple more rounds. And then next time we drop the heels back, we come into a squat, pausing at Namaskarasana, hands to heart. Use the elbows to draw the knees apart. Stay here for 2 deep breaths. Okay, so we're going to do that little sequence one more time, but we'll add one more movement to it. So this time, as we catch ourselves forward, there's the option to trace the right hand around, find the floor behind us, press the hips up and arch through the back. We can trace the arm back forward, press back into the hand, catch ourselves at the center, and then press back to drop the heels. Catch ourselves forward. Left hand can trace the floor to find the floor behind us. We can press the hips forward and then circle back to the center and then drop the hips back. We can even bring that backward bending motion into it from this squat position, so I can bring the hand around behind, lift my heels and press my hips up, drop the hips down, drop the heels, drop the knees, moving into cow. Drop the hips back, then I can trace the floor, the hips start to peel up. I lift my hips, I drop the hips down, and then I catch myself forward into cow. So have a couple of moments playing with that and adding that to walking out into plank, walking the hands back, scooping around to the side, lifting through the hips, scooping around to the center, around to the other side, back to the center. You could drop your knees, then scoop the arms around, lifting up the hips, pressing back to the center, pressing back into squat, dropping forward, left hand traces around, hips press forward, tracing it back to the center, coming back into a squat. Let's just finish off this last round now, meeting each other at Namaskarasana again. And then from here, plant the fingertips into the floor. Start to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Soften the knees and vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's roll up to standing and we'll make our way to the front of the mat. Okay, hands come to the heart. And we move. Inhale, arms scoop wide. And exhale, fold forward, pausing it flat back for a breath. And exhale, melting all the way down. Inhale to flat back, slide the hands up the shins. And exhale, melting forwards again. Roll in the belly, and with control, let's step the right leg back, extend it back, 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 back. And then the right arm scoops forward. And we open up to melt into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, flow into reverse. And we'll scoop the left arm over the head and windmill around into a twist. Continue that movement, windmill the arms over the head, little upper body arch. And exhale, flow forward, shift the weight forward, and we swivel around into Skandasana. From here, you have the option to walk the hands across the floor or just shift the weight over to the other side. Left arm scoops over the head down towards the floor, shift the hips back to come into a lunge facing the back of the room. We ground down through the left hand, swivel the left hip down to the floor. And you have the option to come all the way down onto a side, or we can start to move the hips from here. Inhale, pressing the hips up, windmill the arm over the head. And exhale, ground the hips down. A few more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale, grounding down through the hips. One last round. Inhale, we press up. And exhale, grounding down through the hips. And now we sink our right sit bone down towards the floor and we move into a twist of our choice. So you could either keep the left leg straight, or you could fold the left leg underneath you. But we've all got our right leg over the top. You can either just hug it in or bring the left arm across, or you could bend the left elbow and take chin mudra with the hands, or you could choose to take a bind, so your version of a seated spinal twist. And we'll take 3 more breaths. Every inhale, lengthen through the spine. Every exhale, push a little deeper into the twist. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale into the twist. One last round. And then on the next exhale, we unravel. Use the momentum of the left arm swinging out to the side to make your way into plank. You can choose whether you want to float the hips into downward dog or take a full vinyasa from plank, chaturanga dandasana, to upward dog, to downward dog, or just floating up into downward dog and staying right there. And when you're ready, inhale, left leg floats up. Just step through. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale, fold forward, shift the weight forward. We swivel around into Skandasana. And shifting over to the other side. Left arm scoops over the head down towards the floor as we shift the hips back. And then step the feet to the front of the mat. Tuck the tailbone under, we ripple up to standing. And we continue on. Inhale, arms scoop wide. Exhale, folding forward. We pause at flat back for a breath. Exhale, melting all the way forward. Inhale, hands slide up the shins or fingertips stay on the floor for flat back. Exhale, melting forwards. And this time the left leg steps back. Let it hover there for a moment. Reach, reach, reach back that left foot. And then place the foot. And we come up to line up warrior 2. So warrior 2, we want to make sure that our hips are flattening out. We don't want to feel as though the right knee is rolling in. So if you need to, bring the right foot over to the left a little bit more so you feel as though when you bend the knee tracks directly over the ankle. And when you're ready, we flow into reverse. Right arm scoops over the head, spirals around, release the back heel, and we twist into the right leg. The arms continue to flow up over the head, high lunge. And exhale, fold forward, shift the weight forward, we swivel around into Skandasana. Pause for a breath. And then we shift our weight over to the other side, either walking the fingers across the floor or keeping our hands at our chest. Extend the arms away from each other. Right arm scoops over the head down towards the floor, and we come into a lunge facing the back of the room. Okay, from here, we ground down through the right hand. Keep the right leg straight and swivel the right hip down towards the floor. You have the option to stay here. You could just round down through the right hip and press the left knee back with the hand. Or we lift the hips. Inhale, lift the hips up high, scoop the arm over the head. And exhale, drop the hips down towards the floor. Inhale, arm reaches over the head. And exhale, dropping the arm down. One more round, inhale, lifting the hips up. And exhale, dropping the hips down. We now start to sink the left hip down towards the floor and move into the seated spinal twist of your choice. So the belly moves towards the lifted left leg. You can keep the right leg straight or fold it underneath you. And you can just hug that left leg in or bring the arm in front. Or you can bend the elbow and take chin mudra with the hand, or take a bind. comfortable fit for you, just knowing that you're going to feel like a slightly different practice every time you come to your mat. 2 more breaths here. Every inhale, we're lengthening through the spine. Every exhale, we're moving deeper into the twist. Breathing in. And as we exhale, we unravel. Bring the right arm around. Use that momentum to find yourself in plank. From here you have a choice. You can either float the hips up to downward dog and just focus on the earth element and grounding through those 4 points. Or you can take a vinyasa, ripple forward into plank, unraveling into upward dog or cobra. Exhale, arriving to join with everyone else in downward dog. And this time the right leg floats up to step 3. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale, we shift the weight forward and we swivel around into Skandasana. Make sure that you're in your full external rotation so that right knee is pressing out to the side as much as possible, as much as your range will allow. And then we shift our weight to the front of the mat. And then when you're ready, reaching forward, stepping together at the front of the mat. Tuck the tailbone under, we ripple up to standing. Arms scoot wide. And then the hands rest at the heart, and we'll just pause there for a moment just to notice any subtle changes. Notice what feels new or different. Notice any building warmth. Okay, so let's go through that sequence one more time, but this time I won't speak as much. I want you to just have a chance to go through the movements and feel into the movements. Okay, so take a moment to pause. Notice any subtle changes, notice any building warmth. Take a moment to ground down through the soles of your feet. Feel into that connection between your body and the earth beneath you. Okay, so let's just do a little simple balancing sequence. So we'll spread the left toes wide, and again visualize that supporting leg like a strong tree trunk with an anchor or tree roots extending down into the earth. Take a little micro bend into the left knee, and the right knee draws up. Cross that right leg over and scoop the toes around, and we close the gap between the legs. Start to sink down into your chair. Okay, arms scoop out to the side, over the head as we unravel, draw the right knee up, and then we start to open that knee out to the side, full external rotation, arms come forward as the toe reaches back and behind. Reverse that action. Place the foot just above the left knee and open the right knee out to the side. Bring the hands to the heart and we slowly sink down like we're sitting in a chair. Reverse that action and place the foot on the floor. Give the legs a bit of a shake out. And we go to the other side. Rounding down through the right supporting leg, spread the toes wide, hands come to the heart, take a little micro bend in the right knee. Left knee picks up. And we cross it over the top, closing the gap, sinking the hips down like we're sinking into a chair. Inhale, we unravel, arms come out up to the side and over the head. And we open the knee out to the side, the arms start to reach in front. And then we reach the toe back, twisting through the spine, reaching towards that toe. We can anchor the toe down into the floor or hover it there. And then reverse the action. Place the left ankle just above the knee, hands come to the heart, and we sink down like we're sitting into that chair. Inhale, unravel. Exhale, place the foot, we fold forward, and let's hang there in Uttanasana for 5 breaths, soften the knees. Let the head hang. Then we'll lower ourselves down into a squat from here, and we'll make our way onto our back. Okay, so we'll continue on the sequence we started in my last creative flow class. So arms coming out to a horizontal line from the shoulders, the knees, the hips and the heels are in a parallel line up and down the mat. And then when you're ready, just drop the knees over to the left. Look the head over to the right, so you're twisting through the spine. And then exhale, look the head to the left. Release the right toe. The right toe traces the floor and it kicks up to catch the left hand. Then release the toe, let the toe trace the floor to find the same point in the middle of the mat. And then we roll the knees over to the other side, to the right. Look the head to the left. Look the head to the right. Left toe traces the floor, reaches up to kick on, to catch onto the right hand. And then we trace the floor again, finding our starting position, and the knees come back to the center. Let's just try this a few more times from side to side. Knees drop over to the left. Release the right toe, which traces the floor, to kick up to the left fingers. And then we trace the floor. Find our starting position, and then the knees rock over to the right. Release the left toe, and that traces the floor to catch onto our right fingers. And then we let go, leg swings back to the center. Now we take it a step further. So as the knees drop over to the left, the head looks to the right, head looks to the left, and the right toe traces the floor to catch the left fingers. From here, now as the right leg scoops back, the right arm extends up over the head and the left elbow draws into the side. The right arm comes around in front, the left fingers press down into the floor, and we press ourselves up as the right leg spirals around behind us. From here, we bring the hands to the heart and we switch the knees over to the other side. We find the floor, move into a twist. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, slowly unravel. And then we slowly, hands to heart, move the knees over to the other side. From here, the left elbow draws into the side, the right hand helps us lower back into the ground, and the right arm circles over the head as we come to our starting position. Other side, knees drop to the right, head looks to the left, head looks to the right, As the left toe traces the floor to catch onto the right hand. Bracing back to the starting position. Knees rock over to the left. Head to the right. Head rocks over to the left. Release the toe, other side. Tracing the floor, coming back to our starting position. Knees rock over to the right, head looks to the left. Head looks to the right. Now we move, right elbow draws into the side as the left arm reaches up over the head. And at the same time, the left leg is moving back. We're flipping the right palm to the floor, propping ourselves up. Hands come to the heart. And we use our core strength to shift the knees over to the other side. Releasing the hands to the floor, we move into a twist. Full inhale here. And exhale, slowly release. Coming back over to the other side, hands to heart. And then right hand comes to the floor, right elbow swivels in. As we lower ourselves down to the floor, the left arm traces up over the head. And we find ourselves at our starting position. So I'll talk that through a couple more times. But starting with the dropping of the knees. So knees to the left, head to the right. Coming back to the center, knees drop over to the right, head to the left. Knees back over to the left, head to the right. But this time the head floats over to the left, release the right toe, and we swing to catch the hand. As the right leg moves back, the left elbow draws in, the right arm scoops over the head, and the right hand comes to the floor to prop us up as the right leg swings around behind. Hands come to the heart as we switch the knees over to the other side and we move into a twist. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, hands to the heart as we use our core strength to come over to the other side. And then hands to the floor to our left side so we can lower ourselves back down into the mat and we come to our starting position. Knees to the left, head to the right. Knees rocking over to the right, head to the left. This time release the left toe. So we're catching the right fingers to the left toe. And as the leg swings back, the right elbow draws in, the left hand scoops over the head. We flip the right palm to the floor to prop us up with the left leg behind. Knees float over to the other side. Move into a twist for a breath. Slowly release. Hands to heart as the knees swivel over to the other side. And then the right fingertips find the floor, the right elbow swivels in, the left arm traces the floor as we find our starting position. Pause for a moment, let the body be still. Come back to that sense of grounding. Feel supported by the earth beneath you. Feel the gravity doing its work, just gently connecting you to the mat. Let's just do that one more time. Knees drop to the left, head to the right. Knees to the right, head to the left. Knees to the left, head to the right. And then the head looks over to the left. Release the right toe, which traces the floor to kick to our left fingers. And as that leg scoops back, the left elbow draws in. The right hand props us up. Our right leg's behind, our left leg's folded in front. Our hands come to the heart as we swivel the knees over to the other side. Unravel the arms, move into a twist. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, unravel. Hands to heart as we switch to the other side. Hands find the floor. Left elbow draws in. And then we unravel to our starting position. Knees to the right, head to the left. Knees to the left, head to the right. Knees to the right, head to the left. And then the head rolls to the right and release the left toe, which catches onto the right fingers. And then trace the floor. Left leg moving back, left arm moving forward. Right elbow draws in so we can prop ourselves up. Knees roll over to the other side. Move into the twist. Take a deep breath. Exhale, unravel, hands to heart. And then we come over to the other side. Fingertips finding the floor, swivel the right elbow in and left arm traces the floor, and we come back to our starting position. Pause for a moment. Find the connection with your breath again. Feel the whole backside of the body grounding down into the mat. As you drop back into your deeper breath, feel those points of connection deepen. And from here, make sure the feet are in a parallel line with the hips and the knees again. And then let's bring the left sole of the foot to the ceiling to come into a half happy baby. You can grab the outside or the inside of your foot. Draw the left knee to the outside edge of the torso and then pull that foot down towards the floor. The right knee starts to roll out to the right, so we've got a little bit of a counterweight happening here. And just gently start to rock from side to side. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. Two more breaths. One more deep inhale. And exhale, bending into the left knee. Right knee points up to the ceiling. We grab onto the left foot with both hands. Imagine there's a line up the center of your torso and you're starting to pull the left foot up that column. So I'm pulling my foot from here up towards my head in a parallel line to my spine. Take 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Releasing that foot, and we'll press the foot up to the ceiling and then cross that leg over the right. Try and close the gap as much as possible. And then we'll draw the knees into the chest. Arms float out to the side as we bring the knees over to the right. Look the head to the left, out towards the left fingertips, and place the right hand on top of the knees to weigh them down. We'll stay here for 3 deep breaths, keeping our awareness on the twist through the spine. Deep inhale. Exhale, coming back to the center of the mat. Left heel presses up to the ceiling, and then we place that foot on the floor. And then we come over to the other side. First, half happy baby, Ardha Ananda Balasana. So we grab onto the outside or the inside of the right foot and open the knee to the outside edge of the torso. Try and bring the ankle over the knee. And then we flop the left knee out to the side for a little bit of a counterbalance. Start to pull down on the foot. Maybe take a little rock from side to side. Breathe deeply here. Two more breaths. One more breath. And as you exhale, bend the knee. We'll grab onto the foot with both hands. Imagine there's a line drawing up the center of your spine or parallel to your spine, and we're just starting to pull that foot up on this plane. From the pelvis up towards the head. Stay for a couple more deep breaths. Last deep inhale, and exhale, release the foot, and we'll press that foot up towards the ceiling. Feel length down the back of the leg as we bring the arms out to the side, and then cross the right leg over the left. Close the gap, draw the knees into the chest, and we rock over to the left. Use the left hand to weigh down the legs, right arm extends out to the side, and we'll hold for 3 deep breaths. Keep your awareness on the twist. Last deep inhale, and exhale, rolling onto your back. Unravel the legs, right heel presses up to the ceiling, and then we place that foot on the floor. Hug the knees into the chest, take a little rock from side to side. And then we drop the heels down into the floor. We'll come into a little bridge sequence. So if you're feeling like something a little bit more passive now, maybe you could grab onto your pile of cushions or your bolster, and you can place it underneath your hips and drop the hips down from there, and just enjoy that nice passive little release through the lower back. Otherwise, we'll start to walk the heels a little closer to the body. Check the knees, the hips and the heels are in that parallel line. Bring the arms down by the side. And as we inhale, peel the hips away from the floor, and vertebrae by vertebrae start to lift the hips up and press them as high as what feels comfortable for you. And then on the second inhale, we'll windmill the arms over the head and press down through the backs of the hands. Take a deep inhale, press a little higher, press down through the feet and squeeze the knees together just enough to feel the inner thighs switching on. And as you exhale, we're going to windmill the arms out to the side, and vertebrae by vertebrae roll the spine back down into the mat. And then the palms flip down to the floor by the side, just as the hips release into the floor. Rock the hips from side to side. Let the lower back melt. And then we go again. Inhale, peeling the hips away from the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting up, pressing down through the hands, getting height underneath the hips. Once the hips are lifted, the arms windmill up over the head. Breathing in and exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, the spine windmills down at the same time the arms are windmilling out to the side. And the moment the hips release back down into the floor, the palms flip down to the floor. Let everything go. Maybe rock the hips gently from side to side as you feel the lower back releasing into the floor. Let's go one more time. You can go through the same version with me, or if there's a different version of bridge that you would like to do, maybe taking a bind with the hands underneath the body, or maybe supporting the hips with the arms at a right angle, you can do that. But otherwise, hips peel away from the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae, we lift up. Once the hips are lifted, this is when you can take the bind with the hands or support the hips with your hands, taking your preferred version, but otherwise we windmill the arms over the head. Take a full breath here, pressing the backs of the hands into the floor, and then the arms windmill out to the side, vertebrae by vertebrae, lowering down, the hips come down last, and then the palms flip down towards the floor. If you're in one of the other versions, just keep the hips lifted for one more moment, and then release the hands and lower down to join us. And once you're there, rock the hips from side to side just to feel the lower back releasing into the floor. And one last little moving grounding sequence. So the arms come out to the side, the left leg straightened, the right knee stays bent. The right arm extends up over the head and we press into the right foot to roll over onto our left side. Keep rolling over until the chest is flattening on top of the left arm, which is still extended in the same straight line. Hook the chin over the shoulder and just stay for 3 deep breaths. And right hand slides next to the chest, left arm windmills out to the side, perfect horizontal line from the shoulder, right toe peels back, and we open into open wing just for a deep breath, opening up the left side of the chest, and exhale, rolling back to the center. We swap sides, right arm extends out to the side, left hand comes next to the chest, left toe peels back, and we roll onto our other side. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, rolling back onto our belly. Left arm slides up like a rainbow across the floor. And then we roll onto our back. Starting at the center. Getting ready for the other side. So this time the right leg straightens, the left leg is bent. The left arm extends up over the head. The right arm is in a horizontal line from the shoulder. And then we press into the left foot to roll all the way over on top of the right arm. Look the head over the right shoulder. Take a full breath here. Then the left hand comes next to the chest, the right arm windmills out to the side. So we're all the way onto our belly now. Right arm is at a right, extended straight out to the side in a horizontal line from the shoulder, and then we press into the left hand, left toe peels up, and we come up into open wing. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, roll onto the belly, swap the arms over, right toe peels back. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, roll onto the belly. Right arm extends out to the side, swipes up over the head, and then we roll all the way onto our back to our starting position. Take a moment pausing at the center, grounding down through the back side of the body and feeling into that connection between your body and the floor. So let's go through that one more time. Take it slow, or see if you can just bring a little bit more speed and momentum into this sequence. So from here, left leg straight, right leg bent, right arm extending over the head. We roll onto our left side, Keep going all the way over so that we're rolling on top of the left arm, hooking the chin over the shoulder. Slide the right hand down, left arm windmills out to the side, and then we press into our right hand to come into open wing, looking up to the ceiling, peeling the right knee back. Rolling onto the belly, we come to the other side, right arm extends out to the side, left toe up to the ceiling, pressing into the left hand to spiral to the other side. Rolling onto our belly, swapping the hands over, but this time the left arm swipes up over the head, the right toe peels back, and we come to our starting position. Other side, right leg straight, left arm over the head. We press into the left foot to roll all the way over on top of the right arm, hooking the chin over the shoulder. Left hand comes down next to the chest. We windmill the left arm out to the right. Press into the left hand to come into open wing. Rolling onto the belly, swapping the legs over, swapping the arms over. Press into the right hand to come into open wing on the other side. Deep inhale and exhale, rolling onto the belly. Right arm extends out to the side, left hand next to the chest. Swipe the right hand up and over so we can peel the left toe back, and we find ourselves on our mat again. Hug the knees into the chest, take a little rock from side to side. And let's come to rest in Shavasana. So if you like, you can pop your bolster or your pillows underneath your knees, and that gives you a beautiful release through the lower back. But otherwise, once you're there, just give the body a squeeze and release, or maybe sway the hips from side to side, give the body a little bit of a wiggle, and do what you need to do to find a place of stillness. And then once we're there, we'll start to scan through the body just to notice what feels new or different. Noticing where there's freedom in the joints. Scanning through all the systems of the body, noticing the nervy feelings, noticing the pulse and the heartbeat. And gradually move your awareness to more and more subtle sensations until gradually you're starting to tune into how you're feeling energetically. See if you can tune into the subtle buzz of the electromagnetic field around the entire body. See if you can tune into the subtle flow of prana, or vital life force energy that moves through that network of nadis that we talked about at the start of the practice. The nadis being the yogic word for that network of energy channels that's mapped out in so many different traditions. And then when you're ready, we'll bring our awareness back to all of the points of the body that are touching the floor. So the backs of the heels, calf muscles, the buttocks, the back, the shoulders, the backs of the hands, the backs of the head. And start to tune back into that sense of grounding. Allow the breath to settle into a more natural breath, but still let it be deeper than perhaps the breath that you started your practice with. And with each smooth exhalation, feel as though these points of connection are getting deeper as you continue to ground down into the mat beneath you. And as you ground down, there's this sense that you're feeling extremely supported by the earth, feeling a sense of comfort and stability. You're feeling that in this moment, and you're feeling like you can take that sense of being grounded and present, stable, into the rest of your day. Start to shift your internal focus outwards, still staying present and grounded, but just shifting your focus and wiggling the fingertips and toes to bring movement back into your body. And then when you're ready, you can move to your right side and just gently prop yourself up, taking your time, moving to any comfortable seat. And let's close our practice with one Om. Straight spine, drawing up to the crown of the head. You can bring the hands to your heart if you like, or take Chin Mudra with the hands. You breathe in together. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes. Thank you for coming to practice with me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. As always, if you have any questions, just send me a message and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful day and I'll see you in class next time. Bye.